now.
I got you. This is being live.
This is being lived. Yes,
This is being live.
It's lived. Live
Update.
from live.
No title, just DGAM.
Oh gosh, what? That's nice. Didn't even ask for. Oh, because of the meeting notes. Great. I'll have to change that later. That's what we is. We's the gam. All right, we are live on the YouTubes. Welcome, folks. Hopefully, we'll let people trickle on in. We got 2 people watching. We'll get a little bit more. Make sure you share it out. I'm going to grab the little linky link and give it to the gentleman.
Already got it, bro.
I've got it.
You think it's my first rodeo?
Nice. I'm going to share it on my Facebooks as well.
Sharing it to my Discord. Which do you have a Disc Golf Answer Man Discord?
No,
should we?
I don't.
Yeah. Who's good at that? Who's good at the Discords?
I could talk to my buddy Zach Benson. Bobby, you talk to Zach Benson.
Yeah, Bobby.
Yeah, Bobby. Why would I even talk to you, Bobby?
Yeah, Bobby.
You can get so much closer to your camera so easy. I can't get close to mine.
Join us for another crazy episode of the Disc Golf Answer Man. Tag Eric Oakley, Robert McCall, Dwayne.
I almost didn't tag you guys, but then I decided to. Welcome.
Should I tag The Rock? He'll probably get on.
The Rock.
I mean, he just put out Black Adam, or a little teaser for it. I'm guessing he'll want to get on the show to promote it because he probably didn't get enough exposure on his Instagram.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either. Help him out with this.
Give people a minute to hop in here.
I shared it to those places and to Fatchabook.
You shared it on your Discord or just Facebook?
Oh, to Fatchabook.
Fatchabook. All righty then. If you're not subscribed, please get subscribed to the what is this called? The YouTube channel. I should have told my peoples on my Instagram that I'm going to be doing a lot more video stuff, a lot more video stuff when I'm on my way to Florida.
Oh,
I'm going to document my life. Oh, I need to shut that door. That's very distracting. I'm taking my own place. Then I'm going to fancy it up.
I really want your parents to walk in and be like,
"They're not
Bobby, Bobby Brown, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Who are all these people?"
All right.
Why do I assume every mother sounds like that? Just
okay. So we do have a speak pipe. Someone told me they sent one in, so we'll get that taken care of.
Christian Kerian has brought his hot take over.
Steven has also thank you to the Patreons. You guys are amazing. Remind me after we're done, we'll do a little Patreon thing too for the Patreon listeners. I said that we would do a little behind the scenes stuff for the Patreons. What am I doing? Oh yeah, speak pipe, Patreon. And then let's see how many questions we actually have. All right, so if you're joining us on the YouTube live, you're probably wondering what's going on. We are setting up to do our live show. Or no, this is the live show, but you actually will watch us record the audio podcast, but you get a little bit of a glimpse of a little more of the craziness as we do the show. And we can talk to you in the chats for a little bit. Okay, so this will be a short show. All right.
Do the Fusion X's feel good too?
Yeah, we got one here. Grab the Superman one. Because tell me that doesn't look very Superman-esque. Superman. Shape-wise, flatter. Kind of, I don't know. It feels good. It's more grip is like the big prominent factor of what I felt when I was throwing them. And I wasn't necessarily used to it. But shape-wise, awesome. very similar to the 2018s, but again, I think they're a little less, just based around the just based around the shape and the plastic itself. These should beat in really quickly. Compared to the Ricky Fusion X1s, the Ricky Fusion X1s are actually they were more a special blend more than Fusion X. They called it Fusion X, but it's not actually X plastic. So that's
it was just a different blend.
Yes. So that was a common error that we made early on before Lucid X Plastic became a thing. So to give you a little bit extra Attila fever, these are a very different disc, and you'll get a longer life out of this one. So enjoy.
All right. So where do we got the Gmail? There it is. Joey said that he sent in. There it is. Hot take. Yep, I see it, Joey. And my man. Okay, so let me put a note in our little note to do the hot take from Joey. I'll put a category in the form going forward too to put hot takes if you guys want to put in a hot take as opposed to just a question.
Don't forget Christian Carry-Ons.
Say what? Carry on.
Christian Carry-On he's the one who prompted the format.
The top 4 seeds getting a bye.
He's got it. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you looking at the notes?
Yeah.
So yeah, we got about 5 questions. We want to talk about the A-tier request form, the hot take. We got a speak pipe question, and then we got disc golf. So, and we'll just talky.
Dixon Jowers in the chat.
What's up, Dixon?
Hey, what's up? Some of my hot takes. I haven't thought about them in a while, but I'll get to that.
Kristen, I can't do super chats yet because I have to have 1,000 subscribers. And since leaving Dynamic Discs, although I own the name Disc Golf Answer Man, I wasn't able to keep the feed, and obviously I couldn't keep the Dynamic Discs Facebook page, YouTube channel. So we are starting over from scratch. So it's like I'm starting over, which is kind of cool. Kind of cool in one sense, not so cool in another sense. So,
less cool in another way if you think about it differently.
Yes, if you think about it monetarily, it's not quite as cool. But no, anyway, so we're gonna build it up a little bit. If you want to help support the show until we get to super chats, you can always go to patreon.com/DGAM. Already got a few supporters out there, and doing some behind the scenes pictures and just conversations and questions and things like that over there. Obviously going to continue to do that more and more, especially as I'm going to Florida. I'm going to share some stuff with my Patreons when I get to Florida, some behind the scenes stuff while I'm out there with Paige Pierce and Jeremy Coling, and of course Eric and Tina Oakley and Terry Miller, the disc golf guy. That's going to be off the chain.
Did anybody see what happened to him? The hate mail he got?
What he posted earlier? Yeah.
My Lord. Why can we have people that are like so awesome like Terry, and then on the other side of the coin have people like that human being? Yeah, it just sucks.
I don't get it.
God, it's so dumb. Don't be that human.
What's wrong? What's wrong with that message? Seems he just wanted to say what he thought.
It's social media. You're allowed to do that, right?
It's truly terrible.
Yeah, no, that's horrible. People are horrible. All right, so I've got 9 votes in, and 44% of you listen to the DeGam Daily episodes. 56% of you do not.
Why?
So
figure it out.
And why aren't you subscribed?
Right. The DeGam Dailies are daily motivational. And I don't do it every single day, but I do it days when I don't have an episode to put out. So it's just a way for you to get some extra information, extra content to help you better your disc golf game. Yeah. And that's what we're all about here on the Disc Golf Answer Man. We're about answering your questions, complaining about courses, and helping you become a better disc golfer.
Disc golf complain, man.
All right. We'll give it another couple minutes, let people flow in, get ourselves organized.
Zooming in messed up my hey.
When you just got close to it.
It looks a little off. Oh, cool.
What about that? How's that for? Ooh, it's even got some beautiful bokeh.
Do you have
Sebastian just open the door?
It's possible.
Seppa. Yeah, buongiorno, Seppa.
We need to get what are those? What are the things that Johnny V uses that streamers use to change scenes? Scenes changed to where we can get one that's just zoomed right on our face, like right here.
Oh yeah, we need the OBS
for when it's about to get intense.
Right. Hot takes,
and then a second extra camera down here for this.
Once I get my own place, I'll definitely be investing in some good stuff for the podcast. So.
Parental view.
Yeah.
Oh man.
All right, you guys ready?
Let's do it.
All right, let's go ahead and get the podcast. Here we go.
Here we go.
Hey everybody, welcome to this episode of the Disc Golf Answerman. I am Bobby Cool Daddy Slick Breeze. I have with me Robert McCall and Eric Oakley. Robert, of course, chiming in. We're using the Zoom video software to have Robert in from Texas. And Eric is out in Florida.
Yeah.
I'm in good old Oklahoma. We were back with another episode of the Disc Golf Answerman. I got to tell you what, guys, I get private messages all the time, and your support and your love for the Disc Golf Answerman show is amazing. I thank you so much. And a few of you reached out to me and said, Bobby, I want to show my support. I want to do super chats. I want to do whatever. I love what you're doing. Right now, I can't do super chats until we get 1,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. So make sure you find Disc Golf Answerman and subscribe to the actual Disc Golf Answerman channel. Right now, it's because it's so new, you're going to come across the Dynamic Discs channel. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but if you want to subscribe to the specific YouTube channel, make sure you search for channel Disc Golf Answerman, subscribe so we can get that 1,000 subscribers and hit that milestone. But until then, if you want to show your support, you can go to patreon.com/DGAM and show your support there. I also want to thank Whale Sacks for sending me some whale sacks to help show some support for the show as they sponsor this particular episode. I was out taking some really good. No, I mean, I'm not trying to brag on myself, but I took some pretty good pictures of them.
It was super good, dude.
They were good pictures. So you'll start seeing them on the Instagram for whale sacks. And then, of course, I'm going to be giving those away, and I'm going to be giving those away to the subscribers on my podcast. So make sure you're subscribed as I start giving those away.
Yes. I have I think it's a Combat Ranger sitting next to me that we were maybe saving for a special occasion. What if we start promoting that? We'll do a little mystery bag with a Combat Ranger as the thing for once we hit 1,000 subscribers.
I like it.
Let's go.
Like
so anybody who's subscribed.
Yes, you have to be subscribed to the YouTube channel. So make sure you tell your friends so that they get subscribed so that you find make sure that so they didn't get subscribed. What am I saying? The camera
to prove that I'm not lying.
Right. Oh, nice.
Bam.
Nice. So
yes. Actually a Combat Ranger sitting next to me.
We
got to earn it though.
You got to earn
it. So go tell your friends.
Go tell your friends to subscribe so we can hit 1,000 subscribers. Once we hit that milestone, then we'll start figuring out how to give it out to our subscribers. So thank you guys. Thank you, Eric Oakley, for that. You are amazing.
Let's go.
Hey, all right. But also, quick question. Can I get some whale sacks also? Just consider sending them my way. Just saying. Okay, go ahead.
So
I just want to have fun too, guys. So it's whatever.
Okay. One last mention. Thank you to DoorDisc.com for supporting the show as well. They are a sponsor of this episode, and you can go to DoorDisc.com. They've got full supply of bags, discs, and accessories, baskets as well. Thanks to Shane out there in Wisconsin. He's building himself a disc golf community out there. Make sure you show him some love. If you're in the area, go shop him. If you're online, shop him, DoorDisc.com. Use code DGAM for free shipping. All right, gentlemen.
Hello.
How was your weekend? All right.
Not my favorite weekend.
No, what happened?
No, Owen got sick on Friday.
That's sick.
We had sick.
Sick, dude. That's so sick.
We had to take him to urgent care at 5 in the morning. So that sucks.
Yeah. Horrible.
So in y'all's face, turd heads. He's fine. He has 2 ear infections. And so he was running a super fever. And it was a tough weekend at the McCall. None of us feel great right now. Okay. He is on the up and up, which is really good. So anyway, that's that. So not much disc golfing this weekend. Lots of sitting around, but yeah, it's all right. But I did watch a lot of disc golf as a result. And that was, it was an entertaining event to say the least.
Absolutely. I did not disc golf. I haven't disc golfed since I left Charlotte. So I've been straight chinning, but I've been working out and enjoying some time at home with Tina, helping make sure the house is good. I think we have some guests at our house now, and Paige and Alyssa just showed up from the trip down from Charlotte, and they're going to be hanging out for a little bit. It's going to be sweet.
I am so super stoked to see both of them. I haven't seen either of them in a long time, so it's going to be great to see them again.
Pumped.
I did some crazy partying Friday night. Be full transparency, being vulnerable right now. That's the buzzword. Totally vulnerable. I went out with some friends and partied and danced. I mean, danced. Isn't that a song? It was dance. Anyway, danced until I was out till 3.
There's another one that repeats the same word, but I think it has to do with butts.
Oh, that's true.
I don't really understand the song, but the theme I've got, it's butts for sure.
Butts.
So anyway, and then afterwards went to the Waffle House and had a waffle and dedicated to AJ Ridgely. I took a picture and sent it to him, and was out till 3 a.m. But it was a fantastic time. Felt like I was 20 years old again.
Dang.
That night I did. The next morning I was reminded I am not 20 years old.
Nope.
Yeah, you felt it.
Yeah, so felt
Go
it.
fast. Am not 20 years old.
I'm not, but did not play any disc golf. But there was plenty of disc golf that happened over the weekend in the Disc Golf Pro Tour Championships, which is what I'd like for us to talk about next.
Disc Golf Answer Man. If you
Hi, Teen.
Hey, Teen.
That's a Paige Pierce up there.
Oh, hey, Paige.
Oh, Alyssa and Paige.
Hey, you guys.
That's awesome.
And Tina Oakley, of course. Hi, everyone. I love you.
Hi, Tina. I love you, Tina. You never know what's going to happen on the show. Live appearances from Paige Pierce. World
dude.
World Champion. So anyway, Disc Golf Pro Tour Championships. What a wild ride! I seen a few clips of some shots that Nathan Queen did, and he was on fire. What were some of the shots that you guys witnessed while you watched?
The two that stuck out to me, I mentioned before, is the holes 15 and 16 were where he shut the door. And 15 being the gauntlet, 16 being the two alley kind of downhill blind shot, and he absolutely parked it. And at that point, he was able to kind of cruise. It didn't 17 was always looming as a difficult hole that could bite, but it really gave him so much of a cushion. And those were, I think, the moments that, he did everything he was supposed to get there. And he's a kind of golfer who is, he lives on that kind of stuff. Like he streaks and he builds on that confidence. So if he's throwing the disc good, it doesn't matter. Like he doesn't have to make many circle 2 putts because he's that good of a thrower of a disc. So it's very impressive to watch.
Yeah, those two shots especially were insane in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
The one that got me the day before was round 3, hole 18. He and Drew both go in knowing they probably need to birdie because Rick's hot on their heels. Kyle Klein is right there. And both of them circle one, both of them hit. That was just like, awesome. I mean, you have to have that because he loses in the case of a tie. Mm-hmm. He loses out of that final round. So that was a huge shot, but 18 is nowhere near the difficulty of holes 15 and 16.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just huge conversions all day. That was a blast to watch.
Missy Gannon, though.
I was about to say both Missy and Nathan chose the correct time to peak. Because imagine you go out and throw, possibly not the best round of their lives, but a good enough round to win that. And in return, they hand you $30,000.
Pretty sick.
30,000.
That's pretty sick.
American US dollars.
When you got it, you got it.
That's pretty
so awesome.
Sick.
I audibly screamed and punched the couch in excitement because I just was so hyped when Missy threw her drive on 16 and it was clean. So she was par at worst, and then when she piped hole 17, absolutely piped it. I was like putting the foot in the door, like, and again, that's how that course works, though. That is exactly how that course works, because most of the par fours you want to have a chance at birdie, and a lot of the par threes you're trying to at least get some of them. You're not going to get all of them, but you're trying to get some of them. And if you can stay clean and you can give yourself an opportunity to where those later holes don't matter as much, that's when you've played Hornet's Nest really well. The moment that you have to get like 14, 15, or 16 to finish out your run to get yourself in it, you're asking a lot of yourself, because not many players actually got all those holes. Nathan Queen did in the final round. He got all 3 of them, all 4 of them if you include 16. Like that stretch is phenomenal. So it really does help. And that's, again, what I think I saw the most from this weekend, and looking at the scores, is the players who played well were the ones who managed well early, kept the bogeys to a minimum, if not at all, and then were able to pick up enough to where when they picked up bonus birdies on the back, it was just cruise control from that point. You just allow the game to happen rather than having to chase it down. Because the moment we saw players having to chase, Paul and Drew, you can't really catch up, because the shots that are being asked to chase cause you to make more mistakes and take bigger numbers.
Yeah. Another big story for me this weekend, a couple at least, was one, Gannon Burr.
Awesome.
Just incredible dude. Like, say what you want about him being a slow player. From watching, it looks like he does take too much time. It needs to be addressed. It was addressed by a course official. Yeah, whatever. Say what you want about slow play. The kid's 16 years old and he is shredding. So consider me impressed. Right?
I got a hot take.
I
got a hot take on Gannon Burr. And I love him, love his mom, love the people who support him. But no, I'm at that point where I've been around him long enough, and I'm like, stop being surprised. Stop. He's that good. And it's not even like a question of, is he going to make it? He's already made it, and he's going to keep getting better. So I don't need to see another article about, oh, he's just breaking out. It's like, no, he's a professional disc golfer. He is a mainstay out there. He is that good. He is that good. I've played with him, and he's only going to get better with time. And being in that exposure. So people need to stop being surprised by it. And that's my one hot
I'm with
take.
you. Yes. Dude, I'm with you. That's for me, it wasn't a surprise. It's just like the dude showed up and showed what he could do. And he's done that. Like, he finished he finished 12th at USDGC maybe, something and like that, 4th at he's had some big finishes. So impressive. And then the other big one for me was Drew's putting this weekend, especially from range. Oh my gosh.
Sick. Also
when everything's on the line.
So
just throwing him in from everywhere. Like, insane, dude.
Absurd.
Awesome.
Another shout out to Heather Young for making a really big push, and getting tied for second in the Pro Tour finals. She's only getting better in the similar capacity of I know how hard she works, and players like her and Missy, I really wish I could learn how to putt like them, because it's like they're absolutely incredible.
Yeah. So one thing on Missy, though, one thing that I remember when we went down. Where did we go to when we actually asked her to be on the team? Where was that?
We were at M Worlds.
M Worlds, but where was it? It was
that was in Iowa, Quad Cities.
And I remember Paige Pierce was like really pushing for her to be on the team, and of course we had already made the decision we were going to, obviously offer it to her. But I remember meeting her, and I remember telling Robert, I was like, man, she's a delight. She's a sparkle. She's got that spark, and amazing. And we knew that she was going to do some big stuff. And of course, she was on Dynamic Discs, moved on to Discraft. And I'd still watch her. Now, I love taking photos of her because she's a professional. She likes to have fun. And I'd always tease her because she'd always try to smile. And I'd say, no, I don't want you to smile. I want serious looks. And so she'd always tease and give me a smile every now and then when I'm taking pictures. But I sent her a text. And the reason I'm telling you this is I sent her a text to congratulate her on the Throw Pink win. And I said, keep being a positive force out there and keep smiling, except if I'm taking a photo of you. And she says, I can guarantee more big wins, but I definitely cannot promise that I won't ham it up for pictures. And boy, did she make good on that guarantee by winning the Disc Golf Pro Tour Championships. So yeah, I had to send her a text and say, well, you made good on that win big guarantee. But also what I wanted to ask you guys about Gannon. So yes, very impressive. A talented kid. Again, another trip that me and Robert took was to Junior Worlds. Where was that? Gosh, I never remember where.
That one was in. That was Quad Cities also.
Oh, was it? Mm-hmm. All I remember, it was so hot and muggy out there.
Yep, same trip.
But anyway,
it was rough.
It was the same trip. So anyway, I remember seeing Gannon there and very impressed with his play. My question to you guys is, we've seen not a lot, but we've seen quite a few of these kids that start out like just blowing up. Mm-hmm. What does it take to make sure that is it good for them to peak really high this young, or is there a point where they need to kind of even out so they stay steady for the long haul, or what?
Hold on. McMahon is a prime example. Go ahead.
What I was going to ask is so clarify what you mean, because clarify what you mean, because I don't think that for a kid who's on the up and up like a Gannon or an Eagle, for them to slow down, I don't think that would be advantageous to them. But so clarify what you mean, please.
I guess what I'm thinking is, like, to hit all these top fives and to play so well so many times, does that cause? And I'm not trying to pick on, and I don't know. I know I've talked to Gannon, I've talked to his mother, but I don't know them like that well. But so I don't know if he's like does. But as a young person, I'm thinking, oh, I'm doing really great. I'm doing good. I can maybe ease off the gas a little bit when it comes to practicing. Yeah. I can ease off the gas.
I see what you mean.
Right. Because they're, I don't want to, again, I'm not judging Gannon. I'm saying overall that around that age, there's a tendency to think I'm doing really great. Can I ease off the gas and still perform really well? And is that an issue at that age, or how do you make sure that they keep going?
Sure.
I remember we've sponsored, when I was with Dynamic Discs, we sponsored a lot of young kids that, man, they were doing really great. I don't even know what they do now. I don't know. I don't even know if they even play disc golf right now.
Look at the opportunities that Gannon and Eagle had. Eagle being what Gannon can be in 5 to 10 years.
I think even fewer, probably.
So definitely fewer. But my point being, Eagle's lifestyle created an opportunity for him to get out and play against the best earlier on. Gannon is also being given those same opportunities. What this does is it allows them to understand the level of play that is expected week in and week out. The moment you play 3 or 4 weekends in a row, all Pro Tour events, and you see what has to happen, you understand that there is another level of training that needs to be done to keep you at that level. So we saw what happened when Eagle McMahon went to Switzerland. We've seen his transformation and how he's grown as an athlete, barring his freak injury before this. It's along the lines of he truly understood what it was going to take to get to the next level, so he could win and could consistently win and be a mainstay at the top of the leaderboards. So that is something that I hope players like Gannon get. It's something that I've talked to Kyle Klein personally about, because I've seen his diet. I've hung out with him. It's not great, but he's a kid, so it's fine. It's like
that's going to catch up. That's going to catch up, though.
Yeah, and that's why I really, really want to see them push and go that. And if I could have done it and stayed after it from 16 years old and just gotten to be a superhero athlete, I would love it. But I didn't. I ate Whataburger. I chilled. I played a bunch of soccer. I got really fit. I didn't focus wholly on disc golf until I had the opportunity, but I was playing decently, and I was fortunate to get myself here. But it has taken a lot of hard work, and that's what I hope we could see happen with a Gannon, with a Ty Love, with I've to talk Didi, Anthony Anselmo, Andrew Miranda are 2 great kids. Carter Aarons out of the Washington area. We're talking, and then not to mention Cole Riddallin. is another incredible.
He's bad, dude.
He's very good. So you have this like culture that has the right ideas, but it's like, who is going to have the opportunities to go out and compete on tour? And I think that that's why Gannon has proven what it takes, because straight up, if you go play a local B tier or A tier or B tier, you can make mistakes and still win. You go to a pro tour, if you make mistakes, you lose hundreds of dollars with each and every mistake you make. It is very difficult to make. It is more difficult to make it up at those events as well.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
That is what I hope happens for Gannon, is that he grasps how the severity of taking care of his body and pushing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's an unbelievable player. Can't wait to see what he does for sure.
Speaking of those whale sacks.
Oh, my little babies.
If you're on the YouTubes, which you should also watch, we should listen to it on wherever, and then also go to YouTube and watch it so you can see.
If you're listening right now, what Eric is showing us is a disc golf amateur man whale sacks.
Let's go.
But you should also come to the YouTube and subscribe.
Check them out. Do you want to talk about the format right now as well, since we're on it? Bobby?
Yeah, please.
Okay, so pre-show we were talking about the Disc Golf Pro Tour finale, and it's a different format than really anything else we have in disc golf right now. There's players are seated on the way in. Only the bottom 16 play the first day, and only 4 of those advance. Those 4 play with the next, what is it? Like 15 to the next 8 players. Only 4 of those advance. Then the top 8 and those 4 play the next day. Then only 4 advance, and that's the final 4. Okay, so from a fan perspective, from somebody just watching who doesn't make any money from whoever wins, I love it. I think this is one of the coolest formats that we have, because I also love March Madness. March Madness gives us the opportunity to see some Cinderella players, some people that through the course of a whole tournament, they play well. They finish top 10, top 15, top 20, but they're not up there at the top. But in this situation, all it takes is one round for them to guarantee, $2,000 to $3,000, $3,000 to $5,000, $5,000 to $8,000, or all the way up to 30, which, Nathan Queen just got for himself and paid for his, same, paid for their touring vehicle and their, their expenses for a lot of the next year. And so as a fan, I love the format of the finale. Do I think it's fair? Absolutely not. It's not fair, but I like that all it takes is one round at a time. Once you're done with that, on to the next. One round at a time. So talk about it though from the player perspective, because this is just from me as a fan.
Think about what it's proven is that it hasn't been the 1, 2, 3, and 4 seed in the finals ever.
Yep.
Ever. Not once has it ever been that way since its formation. As a player, to play in it and to play one round and be done sucks. It's not. It's not great. And there are times where you're 7 holes in and you virtually can be almost out of it.
Yeah, game's over.
It's a really bummer to feel that way. Now, with that being said, just play you have to play good. You have to treat it as a one-round event where you go out and get after it, and you can't make as many mistakes. So it adds a different level of pressure. To touch on what I was thinking about doing as a change was instead of being in the top 32, we push it out to more like the top 40 or whatever isn't even a round number. And we play a real tournament and call it a major, where it is a qualified by your seed. And that's how we play it as a major championship. It's a 4-round major at a property that deserves it. With that being said, I don't think Hornets Nest would be a 4-round major level course. It is a fantastic if it had an additional course that could work. And in the Charlotte area, there are plenty where you could play one round at 2 different courses, and that would suffice for a very high quality major, in my opinion. And that was one thing that we, have brought up of an additional major would be something that is really good. And, that the PDGA is trying to do that with the Players Cup, but they're also bringing in this weird kind of match play situation at the end or whatever it is. And it's just like, I feel like we're trying too hard for a major, and a major should be a traditional disc golf round. It should just be what it is. We should be playing tournaments. That's what it comes down to. And I actually had this conversation with AJ Risley in regards to USDGC and the rules and everything that come into play. It would be like very specific rules being implemented at an all-star game, but then but the players themselves would be receiving bonuses for winning the all-star game, the same that they would for the NBA finals if they won the all-star game, which would be ridiculous. Like, oh, we have a 4-point line that you can shoot from to get more points. Like, that's kind of some of the rules that we see at the USDGC, because you don't see those rules anywhere else in the country, but we see them at USDGC, and we're going to crown a major. It's like, that's the type of stuff we wanted to avoid. So with the Disc Golf Pro Tour, the more I've thought about it, if you look back at the past, the format actually works. From my perspective, I have not enjoyed it most of the time. I had a good run last year, and that was very fun. But to think that I could have an opportunity like a Missy or Nathan Queen every year at the end of the year, I don't know if I want to pass that up. I don't know if I want to pass up that kind of story. And I think that this year proves that the format is actually something that maybe needs to be a mainstay.
Yeah. One more thing about that. So I would say from a fan perspective, I love it. I think it's awesome. From a practicality perspective, you're right. This is the biggest money of the year on a non-traditional event. Mm-hmm. And so, the FedEx Cup does that in golf, but they do it by giving certain seeds a head start. So I don't remember who, probably Dustin Johnson started the FedEx Cup in the lead. And so he started the tournament at 10 under par. Yeah. And second place started at 8 under par, third at 7 under par, and so on. I like that idea in doing something different, but then it's still a standard tournament, but it's not as exciting. I like that this is do or die right now. And what's on the line? And what's on the line is more money than you'll make at any other tournament in the year by far.
The last thing I want to do
from a practical standpoint,
10 strokes though.
Right. 100%. I'm with you on
dumb.
that.
We'd lose.
And when you're thinking also from the practical standpoint, if there's anybody who doesn't need $30,000 in that field, it's Paul. And I'm not claiming to know Paul's finances, but when you sign a $10 million 10-year deal, you're probably doing fine.
Yeah.
So I love it as a fan. Practically, it could use some adjusting, but I'm in it. I'm in for it. I will watch it no matter what, because I loved it.
Nice.
Yeah, that's
I put a poll out there, and we got 79% said yes, they agree with the top 4 seeds getting a bye, whereas 21% said
the
no.
Pro Tour.
Sometimes that works out against them.
A major though. Yeah. This won't become a major event. It'll still just be an elite event at the end of the season. So,
but the thing about the buys is sometimes that works out against those players. A lot of these guys come out, guys and girls come out and don't play their best the first day, but they've seen the course, they know their tournament play, and so they can adjust upon it. Whereas the guys and girls who start on Saturday, one shot, that's it. And so I do think if you're a lower seed, in some ways you have a bit of an advantage just on kind of the flow that you can get going. Mm-hmm. You lose out on ties, but I think you're compensated by getting to play the course more often. I don't know. I love it. I'm in for it. I'm watching it every time.
Seems like the biggest consent on YouTube was the buys reward the guys that have been on top most of the year, but at the end of the day, whoever shows up to play on that day is going to win. That's from Alex.
Yeah, any given Sunday, that's true.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So. All right, let's jump over to the questions. Let's get a few questions in it. Or is that everything we got for the Disc Golf Pro Tour Championship?
I'm good.
I think so. Big congrats to Nathan Queen and Missy. Let's just
heck yes.
One more time.
Heck yes. For sure. Awesome for them. Stoked for them. Hey, and Missy's a complete player, guys.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. She's been coming up. She's here. She's established. And
we're going to see Mo.
Watch out.
We're going to see Mo. All right, see if I can get this. I think I got it set up on the Zoom correctly. We're going to hear from Shay on SpeakPipe. Let's see what he has to say.
What's up, Bobby? Cool Daddy, Slick Breeze, Robert, really moved to Texas for the tacos McCall, and Eric, the running man Oakley. This is Shay from Philly with a question for you guys about Vibram Disc Golf. So, as you guys know, a few years ago, Vibram decided to get out of the disc golf game, which kind of turned out to be as poor and premature a financial decision as it was for me to sell my GameStop stock around that time. So, my question for you guys is, we've seen teaser posts saying they're hinting about getting back into the game, and today, October 18th, there was a post on the Vibram Disc Golf Collectors Group stating that they had sent some testers out, and we're looking to see a release of the Ridge, Ibex, Arch, and Lace. So it looks like they are getting back into the game, and I'm curious to know what you guys think. Do you think Vibram is going to have an impact in the disc golf world and even make some gains? I mean, I think economically the biggest advantage they have is rubber. Everyone kind of made fun of their discs. It was the meme of the community, but rubber is sourced on this continent versus plastic, which is a byproduct of oil, which is a crazy market right now, and manufacturers can't get that material. So do you think Vibram is going to make a triumphant return and even make some gains from their past? Let me know what you guys think, and as always, keep it real.
I kind of feel like there's going to be a big surge. Thank you for that question, Shay, because we actually talked about discussing that this evening. I think there's going to be a big surge at the beginning just because of the novelty of it, that they were a thing. Now they're a thing again. But I feel like I don't want to dog people that threw it, but like you said, it was the meme of disc golf. It felt like it was the very low on people's list of must-have discs as far as the Vibram and the rubber. Now, maybe they're going to come back strong, and he does have a good point as far as supply chains and stuff like that, as far as rubber versus plastic. I get that, but they're going to have to come on pretty strong to make a big splash in the disc golf world right now, just because I believe a lot of companies are starting to, or I think are starting to catch up from these supply problems as far as discs. Now, I know that I still see people complaining that they can't get their favorite disc here and there, but yeah, I think it's going to take a huge splash to really make a big dent on what other manufacturers are selling. What do you guys think?
I think that they missed the boat a little on when it would have been ideal to come back, because everybody knows. Well, I don't think I know this. Everybody knows that pre-COVID, disc golf was doing fine. It's, trending upward just slightly, still growing. And then COVID hit and nobody could keep a disc on the shelves because it was safe to do. It was outdoors. They were in, right? Had Vibram come back before that, I think they'd have had a lot better time, because they are markedly different than anything else on the market. It's obvious. Mm-hmm. It's obvious. And so I think that they will still see a lot of success now because they are still different. Honestly, the durability of their discs is incredible. If you what you buy on day one is what you're going to have pretty much a year later with only the smallest break-in. You have to really, really work to break in a Vibram disc. So I think there's some definite positives to them. But they're behind the eight ball. Everybody else is way out in front and had banner years last year. And in 19, I guess too. Wait, no, 20 was when COVID started. I've got my years mixed up. They had a banner year last year. And so it's just going to be, I don't know. I think it's going to be tough for them to catch up, but I don't think they'll have a hard time making money and making a splash. No doubt about that.
They'll be fine. They're not going to be a big company though. And they weren't when they were in. And I think that's just as simple as that. And it's cool. More money coming into disc golf is good. So we need to think about it as such.
Right. And to have as big a company as Vibram doing it, they could throw, let's say they wanted to drop 500,000 into R&D. Mm-hmm. And they're like, you know what? It didn't work out. That's a drop in the bucket to Vibram. It's nothing. Yeah. They are a huge company. Monstrous. So I'm with you. Bring more money in, bring more people in, bring more eyes to the sport. Even if their discs don't. This is kind of how I feel about Brody Smith. Even if he doesn't make it as a player, huge for disc golf, huge for whatever company he represents, because playing is not the only thing he has on the table. Mm-hmm. That's the same thing with Vibram. Even if their discs don't do great, them being in the sport is going to help disc golf out in general, regardless of how well their discs do.
Now, I haven't thrown but maybe a handful of Vibram discs. I'm curious. Let's say they come out with 5 or 6 discs at one point, and someone says, I want to switch to those discs. Mm-hmm. Obviously, they're not going to have a full lineup, so they're going to have to keep some of their plastic discs. What is the learning curve going from throwing plastic to throwing rubber? Like nothing? It's just like going from Discraft to Innova. It's just figuring out their particular discs and you're good to go? Or is there something about it being made of rubber that you've got to figure out? How does the wind affect it? How does the weight affect it? How does it affect the stability?
Sure. I always felt they flew a little slower.
Yes.
They felt like they weren't as fast out of the hand, but anytime I threw one, it felt like it felt like a disc. Like there wasn't much about it. Obviously they had some that were softer, but I've thrown, super soft plastic from the Trilogy brands, and that it was no different. So I don't think there's much. It's that they're not a big learning curve, if anything.
No, yeah, they're fairly interchangeable, other than the plastic ones beat in a lot more quickly. Mm-hmm. And Doc makes a good point. Rubber seems to drop quicker. Yeah, these don't glide quite like other discs do, at least as of right now. Like how they were made the last time. If you wanted a putter to get to the basket, you were making sure it got to the basket. It forced you to commit. I liked that about the Soul was what I putted with. I liked it about that. You had to commit to it or you weren't making it. So it's it's a give or take sort of thing. You're not going to get as much forgiveness, but it is going to force you to commit to it.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. So let's go to the questions now we have on Google Form. This one's from Garrett. What's up, Cool Daddy? Slick Breeze. So happy that this show will continue on. Even happier to have Robert back. This show has helped me so much. I would have been sad to see it die. Here's the real question. Will you still be close to a Torchy's Tacos? Yes. As a matter of fact, I'm much closer to a Torchy's Tacos. It's like a 25-minute drive to Torchy's. Here's the sad part. I've yet to go to Torchy's since I've kind of made this transition. And I literally have a $25 gift card that was from my Secret Santa from way, way long time ago that I've yet to use. And I'm going to use that very, very soon. So
do you even care about Torchy's?
I know. Do I even care about tacos? Do I even know what tacos are anymore? All right, next question comes from Jeremy. I just got into disc golf in the past year, aside from a brief and casual fling in the mid-90s. So, how far are you? 3 hours. Eric Oakley's 3 hours from the
Sorry, buddy.
So I only have experience with the current COVID-affected disc supply chain. I don't know what things were like pre-COVID, but I have trouble finding plastic in weights below 170. I prefer my drivers and mids in the mid 160s, but most of the local and online stock I see are 170 plus. I'm curious why this is. Is it a demand thing where golfers are buying discs in the 160s more often? Is it a supply thing where manufacturers are putting out a lot more heavier discs in the lighter ones? If the latter, why?
Go ahead. I think demand for I think the demand for heavier discs is always been higher for most manufacturers. Is that it's what the pros throw, and that's what we talk about. It's less affected by the wind, and that becomes something that people want to gravitate towards. And as you progress as a disc golfer, you can progress yourself out of 160 class discs. You can have a point where you have too much power to where you need to step up to a 170 class. So I think that that's an important factor in understanding why more manufacturers are doing that, because people have put in the time. They're eventually going to graduate to that level. And I do think that there's got to be something on the manufacturing side that it's probably easier to produce heavier weight discs because of the injecting process would be my guess as well.
That's spot on, Eric. You hit the nail on the head. So there's the portion that most people gravitate toward heavier discs. That's absolutely true. On the production side, it is more difficult to make discs that are under 170 because of the process to inject them. I don't want to go into it too much, but I'll say this: the people like you've gotten a Lucid Raider that was lightweight, 168, 169, or a Starlight Destroyer that was that same weight, and you'll see the air bubbles in there and the kind of little streaks that you see on those lighter weight plastics. That causes a ton of misprints, a ton of misprints that are just they're not worthy of getting stock stamped and put on the shelf. They have to be sold as factory seconds. So do with that what you will. It's going to be a lot easier to produce at heavier weights where you don't have to deal with as much. What's the word I'm looking for? It's not variability, but let's just go with that. Volatility. There you go.
I think with as disc golf catches back up, manufacturers and we catch up to the demand that is necessary, and we can run 15,000 felons
right
here soon. There will be plenty from that batch that are in the classes that these people are looking for, rather than they've been like, we need to put out 5,000 and then we need to do 5,000 of this and then we need to do 5,000 of this and then go on and on and on, because they just are trying to get more out to the public in different variety, rather than once we start to catch up and we're meeting the demands, they can run these bigger numbers to get these. They're going to have a lot more different colors of plastic and a lot of different colors and stamps. All those things play into the factor of that production as well. And so
for sure,
we could definitely see more happening. Plus, if you look at Latitude 64, they came out with the Sapphire, which is a low key. If you haven't thrown it, disc is pretty dope.
Bad to the bone.
Good. That disc is good.
So if you are looking for a driver that nobody talks about, but you want it to be in the lighter weight plastic, try the Sapphire. You're welcome.
There you go. A real quick update, or at least note for you guys, if you're interested in running any A tiers in 2022, PDJ has made a form available where you can fill out to request to run an A tier in your town. I wish I would have remembered. One of the new rules I remember we talked about on the old show was that the TD and the assistant TD cannot play anymore, correct? Is that just A tiers, or is it B tier, A tiers?
I don't recall.
I know it's
I don't know the answer to
that. Yeah. But Eric Oakley, as a touring pro, if you wanted to, give us at least two things that an event needs to make sure that they have in check for you to make a choice whether you want to play an A tier or not.
First thing, do not play more than 2 courses. Don't do it. Even if you have 3 rounds, try and stick to 1 course. If you have 4 rounds, you can play 2 courses. The moment it's 3 rounds and 3 courses, I don't sign up. I look away. I'm not doing it. It doesn't appeal to me to travel to a place, have to learn 54 different holes, and then play 54 different holes while I play. That is taxing and very old school, very beyond. We've gone past that time as pros. And now if you're running a B tier locally for people who are trying to play more, 3 rounds, 3 courses are perfect for your local players, because they might be working the whole week and they get to go and play. They're going to play as much as they can in the weekend, whether there was a tournament or not. So it fits more for them, but that doesn't fit for the pros. So that is the number one thing, is the amount of courses that are played at these A tiers. Again, if I see 3 courses, I'm out. Like it's not even like the courses would have to be absolutely spectacular for me to play. And that's personal preference. And I don't think I'm alone in that department in thinking that. Secondly, money isn't really the thing, but it does help. I think as a pro traveling player, opportunities for merchandise sales would be something that would be great, because then I don't care about the money. If after the tournament I can set up my table and provide, and most of the time, if I'm a part of those A tiers that allow me to set up, I will donate plenty of plastic to the event that they can sell towards their raffles, that they could put towards future fundraising plans as a thank you. And I generally do that often, but that's just me as a way to take care of the club. Because if they want to use that to help raise funds for that tournament, awesome. If they want to take those discs and sell for future tournaments, please do. I usually give that stuff. So those are probably the two main things that I'm looking for if I'm going to an A tier as a traveling professional. Bam.
Do it.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Let's see what we have next on the agenda. We have, let's do this one last. It's not really a question. It's more of a little high five from Frank De Vries. Oh, is that easy?
I can guarantee it's not DeVriz.
DeVriz. What's up? I'm DeVriz.
I don't always know how to actually pronounce it, but I know at least one way to not pronounce it.
He says, "Hey, Bobby, just want to congratulate you on the choice you've made leaving Dynamic Discs and making time to spend with family and loved ones. At the end of the day, it's the most important thing in life, and I salute you for that. The best is yet to come. Also, the Stokely episode was amazing and really inspiring as well. Please keep this going. Good luck on pronouncing Groningen. No, I had it right the first time. Groningen.
Oh, well, I can't see it, but
Yeah, what?
I bet you were probably closest with your next to last one.
Groningen. Groningen.
Yeah. No, that's one too few syllables.
Oh, Groningen. Are you groaning? Yes, I'm grown again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got shin splints. I'm growing again.
Anyway, yes, he's talking about Scott Stokely, the actual first episode of the new Disc Golf Fantasy Man, where I just had a conversation with him. Very, very good conversation. I'm just going to start doing those interviews where it's just a conversation between me and somebody that's doing something in disc golf. I just did one with Phil Delaunay.
Delaunay.
Did I say that right? Delaunay. He toured. His first year of touring was last year or the year before, 2020.
COVID.
A little bit.
He was in COVID for sure.
Yeah, hit COVID, broke his foot, broke his leg, built his own van. I mean, just all kinds of lesson learned and going out on touring for disc golf. That actual episode is out today, so if you haven't listened to that, go back and listen to that episode.
Awesome.
Then I also talked to Hannah Macbeth. That'll be available next Monday. Talked to the wife of Paul Macbeth about her commentary career, her podcast, and just some other life things going on with her. So great conversation.
Awesome.
All right. So we had a hot take come in, and we're going to discuss the hot take. Where did it go? Oh, he emailed it to me. That's right. Here we go. This is from Joey. Joey doesn't share food. That's all I can remember from Friends, Joey.
I thought you were reading it. I was like, yes.
No,
perfect.
That's from Friends. I just love that line. Joey doesn't. I used to do that to my kids when they would want something. I'd go, Joey doesn't share food. Look at me all weird. All right. Joey says, man-made elevated baskets should not exist in disc golf. Hear me out. Every sport has regulated target field goals are regulated sizes. Basketball hoops are regulated sizes. Soccer goals. You get what I'm saying. Having man-made elevated disc golf baskets give players no consistency. How is one supposed to practice making putts on elevated baskets when they all range in size? Plus, baskets are not designed to catch at an elevated angle. What I mean by man-made is something that is built purposefully to elevate the basket. Non-man-made elevation would include mounds, hills, slopes, stuff like that. Hope you guys like this one. Keep it the realest of reals. What are your thoughts as a fan, Robert, of seeing these elevated? Well, you played in some competitions. Sure. You get from that angle, but what is your thought as a fan, knowing what it takes to play on those? A fan watching these guys trying to make a living playing disc golf.
Give me elevated baskets. Let's go. I'm in for it. I'm going to say this. I think that it's a bit excessive on the amount of elevated baskets that are used at tournaments. I think, you figure out the best way to say this. I think that on an elevated basket, because you haven't had the chance to practice it as often as a standard height basket, whatever you want to call it, I think it tests your putting a little bit more. And I like that. I think that it adds a new challenge that every person has to adjust to in the same way. You could have prepared all you wanted to on a standard height basket, but now you've got a new challenge. Now that's just me sitting at home. If I'm playing a tournament and 9 of the 18 baskets are elevated, I'm not going to be stoked about that. I will say this too. I prefer elevated baskets in the woods where there's less of a chance that wind messes with you, because elevated baskets in the wind are like, oh, they're just the worst. They are so crappy. And there's nothing you can do about it if that's just how your course is. But I think back to like at Waco, it's hole 16 for the tournament course, 550 or whatever, 600 back toward the back of the property. And the wind is always whipping at Waco. And so I know that it puts a premium on a close up shot, but something like that, I don't love that elevated basket. But compare that with the last hole before you get out of the woods, tournament 11, 17 on the normal course. It's up on a mount. And so there are places on the hole that it acts like an elevated basket, even if it's not built that way. I'm in for that for several reasons, but one of which is that you're not going to have to deal with wind very much. So all in all, I am good with elevated baskets if used in moderation. I do not love them more than 3 or 4 times on a course.
What's your take on it, Eric?
I think Robert's pretty spot on here. It's a good thing for our sport. I personally, again, baskets aren't meant to be catching putts from angles. But as we continue to progress as a sport, we can maybe work with baskets that do catch from different angles. And I think that that's something that is doable. The Pro Tour offers a elevated basket in the practice areas. So we do get to practice these putts before tournaments, and usually they are elevated well in advance to where what holes are going to be that way. With that being said, what Robert did say, it's about moderation. If like the Memorial one year is because the course is this is Fountain Hills and Vista del Camino. Those courses aren't hard. So the only way they could make them hard was elevating the baskets. That is not a good call. And they elevated, I think it was in the realm of, out of the 36 holes, it was more than 18 holes were elevated. That is an absurd number, and that's too much. That's where disc golf has passed you. You're a thing of the past. You can still be an event, but you don't need to be an Elite Series event. And that's fine. I have seen plenty of places where people have complained about these man-made ones because you can go too far with an elevated basket. You can make them way too big. The Pro Tours are 6 feet, I think, maybe even less than that. They are easy head height. I can reach in. None of the ladies, I don't think, have many issues getting their putters out of the discs, or Emerson Keith. So it's not an issue with the size, because that can be a really big thing where I've played on baskets that were in the realm of like almost 10 feet high. That's stupid. So the hot take is don't do that. Don't go above 6 feet. And if you're going to do it, 4 at most, 3 is probably the right number.
Now, what about the height? Does there need to be a regulation on the actual height? I mean, or
I said 5 or 6 feet.
Okay, I'm sorry.
As the tallest, you should make them. It's just not too much. Now, if a basket is on a mound itself and is a normal height, but the mound is 8 feet up, like that's fine as long as the mound doesn't guarantee a rollaway. Like if you throw into the mound and you can stick onto the mound so you can get up there and it's not 10 feet, but if you're at the base and it's like a 10-foot uphill putt, that's fine for me. Oh my God, Chaser.
What did he say?
I made a joke about Emerson, and his comment is absolutely shots fired downward. Oh man, I love human beings like Chaser. They just take brilliant opportunities and
pretty good.
Pretty good. All right, good deal. All right, cool. Well, thank you for the hot take on that, Joey. I think that's about all the time that was a good one. That's about all the time. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go onto our form and I'm going to make it to where you can select whether you're sending in a hot take or you're sending in a question. And that way we can get some more hot takes on there and we can discuss these. So that's it for this particular episode. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Again, a big shout out to Whale Sacks. Make sure you look out for a Disc Golf Answer Man Whale Sacks so you can support the show and support Whale Sacks. A big shout out to Door Disc for supporting this episode as well, doordisc.com. Get all your stuff. I like to call them a sleeper store because they're just starting out, but they still get some of the Team Series discs, some of the big sought after discs that some of the big stores get, but not everybody knows to shop them. So make sure you check them out next time a big release comes out at doordisc.com. Use the code DGAM for free shipping. Let them know you listen to the show or watch the show and get yourself some good stuff from doordisc.com. And of course, our Patreon, who as soon as I'm done here, I'm going to hit end on the live YouTube. I'm going to hit finish recording on the regular podcast. And then I'm going to record an audio only episode, a quick little fun question and answer game with Robert and Eric for our Patreon listeners. So if you want to catch some of the fun there, make sure you go to patreon.com/DGAM so you can check in on the fun. And pretty soon once I get some inventory in, I'll start doing some giveaways and things like that for our Patreon. So appreciate all the love and support for that. Any parting words, gentlemen, on this episode?
All good. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Yep.
Great times.